All right, Evilio Nick Gonzalez Jr. Court is calling 2026 CR 000436, State versus Evilio Nick Gonzalez Jr. Can I have parties approach and announce for the record?
Ready for the state?
Melissa Christian for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, just one second. Odyssey is doing its thing again. Counsel, have you received all discovery?
I have, Judge.
And did you review it with your client?
I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney?
Ma'am.
Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Gonzalez, did you review the court's admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1. Penalty group 2, 1 to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine, counsel. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication? If for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 10 years in the prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Judge.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do.
Mr. Gonzalez, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is requesting a $1,000 fine be probated, and they're asking that you be placed on deferred adjudication. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
State?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have any such motions?
No, Judge.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 6 years. There'll be a TAP evaluation, 100 hours of community service restitution, MRT, regular UAs, and the DOEP course. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No comment.
State any evidence.
Judge, we have six in number 1 and all attached.
We have no objections.
All right, state, you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find that there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, he knows that he made a mistake. He really wanted that deferred because he has some significant plans for his future. He wants to keep all of his options open to be able to apply perhaps to be a fireman or to go into the Army. And so he's very motivated to get this successfully completed, and I think he's a good candidate for that.
All right, how old are you?
22 years old now.
All right, and who is Brittany Mata?
My wife, slash baby's mother.
All right, how many children do you have?
2,
And what are their ages?
1 and 3.
All right, and if you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? Here's the thing, you have to tell me the truth, right? Because I'm going to find out anyway.
Nick, 30,
Okay, so dirty for what?
marijuana.
All right, so here's the thing. You're going to have to stop using drugs while you're on probation,
Yes, ma'am.
because I'm hoping you want to be a good father to your children, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And if the mother is using as well, that's a big no-no. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because your children are 100% dependent upon you and her.
Yes, ma'am.
You can't just leave them at Travis Park and say good luck to you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I would hope that anyone who is a parent to a child wants that child to be proud to say, that's my mom, that's my dad. So you are where you are right now, but hopefully this is not the end for you. You can improve.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right. So how far did you go in school?
I made it to 9th grade, high school.
All right. Is there a reason why you dropped out?
I had went to jail. I did a year in there. I got out for like a month. Then I went back. Then I got sentenced to TJD for 18 months. And I got released when I was 17 years old. By the time I was 17 years old, I started working and I started making a living for myself.
Okay. All right. So this is not the end for you. You still have a chance to do great things,
Yes, ma'am.
right? You just made it a little bit harder for yourself, but it's not the end. So you work, what do you do?
I'm a self-employed landscaper. I run a business, masonry, landscaping, synthetic grass.
Mhm.
That's about it.
Okay. And the tattoo up here, who is that?
My mother, she passed away when I was 11 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You know, I always tell people, if you're going to get a name tattooed on your body, children's names are always a safe bet because you're always supposed to love them. Mother's name is a safe bet because they're always supposed to love you.
Yes.
All right. So your mother's death, has that ever been addressed with you, or do you need some help addressing that?
I've been a counseling and therapist when I was 12 to 13.
Mhm.
And that's about it. I went to Low Ridge
Mhm.
for about 30 days to 90.
Okay.
I got released from that and I never had counseling since then.
All right. Well, if you want some counseling, probation will be able to provide it, but you just got to let them know, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And here's the thing, for this probation, make sure you always report, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So what do you need from me that you think will help you be successful on this probation? What could help you get your life on track?
I believe my life is on track already. I just made a mistake.
Well, now these are choices, okay?
Yeah, this is my choice. It's just a bad choice I had made.
Okay.
And I was trying to become a firefighter before this case happened.
Okay.
But I had to go to a class, I believe.
Mhm.
And then by the time I was going to go to the class, I had already caught this charge. So.
Okay. And so is there a reason why you had a gun? And has that case been taken care of, or was there ever a case with that?
There is a case that's going to be taken care of in misdemeanors. They can never take those into consideration. There's a policy.
Which of these policies?
I
that people just,
can't even explain it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
can't do it.
okay. So what's going to happen with that?
Hopefully we'll get that resolved with either time served or that he's doing all of this.
All right. Do you have a cause number?
Uh,
Because I will run it concurrently. with this,
Okay.
just in case something else happens with it.
Here it is. It's 2025 PF
Mhm.
18215
18215.
215, and it's in county court at law 15.
Okay. All right. This is what the court will do. Court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication.
Thank you, Judge.
There's $1,000 fine that's going to be probated.
And I can say that whenever, or is there a time?
No, you don't have to pay that. If you successfully complete the probation, you're not going to owe $1,000.
And she'd rather the $1,000 go towards your babies.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
you're welcome. There's going to be 100 hours, 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you've completed the parenting classes, 100 hours of those, of the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. And counsel, I can tell you right now, if you want to be a firefighter, if you want to be in the military, you're going to have to be clean and sober.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I can tell you, if you are able to provide proof that you've been accepted into the military or accepted as a firefighter, I will, off the record, so, and then, Ms. Abrams, do we have any type of trauma support in case he needs that?
Judge, we can do an ACEs, referral or
All right, they're going to do an ACEs referral for you. If you decide, hey, I'm not ready, just let them know, but it'll probably help you out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to do regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 45 days, no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors, field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. I'm going to order sober support meetings once per week. For every sober support meeting you complete, 1 hour will be deducted from your community service restitution. And Ms. Abrams, make sure they test him for levels.
So no more they're testing your levels. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The levels have to go down.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll do a TAP evaluation out of custody. And if they recommend inpatient treatment, we'll start with supportive outpatient treatment. Probation, is there anything else? Is there anything else you need from me in order to be successful?
I was wondering about my GED because I think I need that in order to go to the Army. I had got a GED online, but they said that it doesn't work to go to the Army. So it's like a 3rd level, I believe.
All right. So if you speak with probation, can you give him information concerning where to obtain his GED?
See how that worked? You asked and boom, they're going to help you with that. Okay.
Right. Anything else you need from the court?
That's about it, ma'am.
All right. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I follow your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Abrams, one other thing, is there any need for you to have weapons?
No, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Abrams, should this be a no possession of firearm? All right, so we're gonna do no possession of weapons. And this will run concurrently with 2025 PF 18215. All right, good luck to you. If you need anything, be sure to let probation know, and whatever you do, do not disappear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good luck to
Have a
you.
good day.
You too.
Go sit on that first row. Judge, did you need to put on the record or need me to put on the record with regard to yesterday's Gabriel Ibarra
Yes, he's
note?
on the docket here too.
It's on page 4 of 8, right in the middle.
Love that you have that.
I stole it from Rick.
Thank you. Yes, Deputy Laura, can you make an announcement for Gabriel Ibarra? Court is calling 2026 CR 0000423, State versus Gabriel Ibarra. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense.
Melissa Christian for the defendant.
All right, this hearing was originally scheduled on March 16th. The defendant did not make an appearance. An announcement was made outside. The defendant did not respond to the announcement. The court recalled this case for today. It is now 9:35 a.m. The defendant has not made a response to being present. Deputy Laura, did you make an announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, I did put that out.
All right, defense, have you had any contact?
Judge, I attempted to call yesterday after he didn't appear and I was unable to connect with anybody and unable to leave a message.
All right, state.
You requested bond forfeiture.
All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant and remand your client without bond.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you.
You all have a good day.
All right, you too. All right, Derek Lopez.
Here, come on up.
Hello.
Hi, Judge. How are you?
Great. Happy St. Patrick's
That's right.
Day. All right. Hello. All right. So why is he in custody?
He was, hold on, I'll talk for you. He was indicted on February the 11th. Unbeknownst to me, he's on the monitor.
Mhm.
They could have picked him up at any time between then and now, and we could have resolved all this, but now we're stuck. Anyway, he's in the he's in custody because he's a post-indictment fugitive on a warrant that I explained to him. They don't, since I'm not his lawyer till he gets arrested on it.
Yeah.
They don't tell me about it. So I didn't even know the warrant existed.
Okay.
But it's unfortunate because he's on the monitor.
Yeah.
But he has to go to the jail and be processed. His family's already going to the bond company. So I'm just seeing if we can reset him today so I can get him out of the courtroom and back on his way back to the jail.
Okay.
You can say whatever you want.
I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I've made some mistakes in my past and all these cases that are catching my go through me.
Okay, let me stop you right there. Because number one, I don't want you to say anything that you possibly should not be saying. Your attorney has explained to me what has happened. And so sometimes what ends up happening, and I tell people this before, you can just be out enjoying your life. You're on bond, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And all of a sudden you get arrested on a case because it wasn't filed. You were not arrested at the scene. And then they arrest you. And so your attorney has explained to me what you are being arrested for is not because of something you're alleged to have done recently. This is something from the past. So I know that you've been doing well on bond. Otherwise, you would have been in custody because it would have came to me. All right. So does he have a bond?
No, he doesn't. But I've spoken to the state. They're in agreement with, oh, she's over here. I'll let her. I didn't see you. Sorry, Megan. I didn't see you.
So in this case, I've agreed to a bond amount of $50,000 due to the fact that the defendant or this offense predates the act robbery that he's in court for, and because he hasn't had any bond violations.
All right, let's go on the record.
Be happy if the court would consider something less. As she mentioned, this offense.
Oh, let's go on the record.
I
Yeah.
thought we did. I'm sorry.
No, we're not on the record
Okay.
yet. I haven't called the case.
Okay.
All right, court is calling 2026 CR 001984, State versus Derek Lopez. Can I have parties announced for the record?
In Dallas State,
Charles Blunt for Mr. Derek Lopez, and Mr. Lopez is present.
All right. It's my understanding that the defendant has been arrested on an at-large case. Is that
Correct,
correct?
Judge.
And this instant case was at large, correct?
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, this case.
Yes, the new case. Yes.
All right.
Now, the new case predates. I don't know if your docket tells you how many times we've been to court on the case we were set for today,
Mhm.
but it's been to my knowledge, 3 or 4 at least. And this offense that he was arrested for today predates his indicted case.
Mhm.
And then about 3 months ago, there was a misdemeanor at-large warrant from this incident, the new incident, the incident we're here for today.
Mhm.
He made that bond for the misdemeanor. And then now, after all of that's been done, now he's been indicted for this new case, once again, that happened before the case we're before the court on.
All right, and the court would note for the record that the defendant has had settings in this court since October 2025.
And then just so the record is clear, for the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, the offense date does predate the offense that we're here for, which is the ag robbery. So for the ag assault deadly weapon, the offense date is April 20th of 2024, and he was just indicted on that.
February the 11th.
11th.
All right. And so state, what bond amount are you requesting?
Judge, I'm recommending a $50,000 bond, and then with the GPS, which it should be higher, but the reason that I'm recommending $50,000 is because he shows up for work. And also a no contact order with the complainants in the case.
All right, Malik Estrada. Oh, this is a plea?
It's MTR,
MTR.
2 MTRs.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 010476 and 2022 CR 6944, State versus Malik Estrada. Can I have parties announced?
Charles Buck for Mr. Estrada.
And are you Mr. Estrada? All right, did you review the motions to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Malik Estrada who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 6944 for aggravated robbery on January 17, 2023 for a period of 7 years? And are you the Malik Estrada who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2022 CR 6944 for the offense of, this is incorrect. All right, let's go off the record. All right, thank you. All right, we're back on the record. Are you the same Malik Estrada who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2024 CR 010476 for the offense of unlawfully carrying a weapon with a felony conviction on October 17, 2024 for a period of 5 years? Is that you? All right, State, are you proceeding on the same violations in each cause?
Judge, actually, we are gonna be proceeding on the same violations for each cause. However, we're going to, in each case, withdraw and amend. And we're gonna ask for a mental health evaluation. Proof of employment, for proof of residence within 45 days. And a weekly report.
Hold on, but first let him plead, he needs to plead true. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. So are you all proceeding on the same
Yeah,
allegation
yes.
in each motion? All right,
Judge, we'll be going on violation unit number 2, specifically that on or about the 11th day of April 2025 in Berry County, Texas. The defendant Malik Estrada did then and there fail to submit drug testing as directed by the court officer or supervision officer, and or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of commission number 2.
how do you plead to that?
True.
State,
And that will wait your make.
any objections to the waiver?
No.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2 and the cause number ending in 44, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Sir, you need to have a seat. And did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2 and the cause numbering ending in 76, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to 20 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true in each cause number? In each cause number, the court will find violation of condition number 2 true. All right, so the state has already said that they're asking not that the motion be withdrawn, but that conditions be altered and amended. So what I need to know from the parties, what are the issues? What's going on here?
Well, at the time of his, the number one that was waived, he was homeless at that time. That was about a year ago from now. Since then, he has a job, he has a residence, he has an automobile. After conferring with probation, the plan is for him to be evaluated for the mental health department. So see if he qualifies for their treatment, follow whatever recommendations they make. And he's going to provide proof of the employment and residency immediately, and then report weekly for 30 days. And that was the recommendation of probation.
All right. And state,
And we'll be following probation.
all right, thank you. No, you're not. All right, but I do have some questions for him.
Of course.
Can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Malik Estrada.
All right, so what's going on in your life? Why are you here before me?
At the time, I had just got out of lifetime recovery, and then I was working at Jack in the Box, and then so I didn't have a place to stay because they were asking a lot or where I was gonna stay at. So I went into an abandoned house just for the night to sleep, but I did have a job, and then I got enough to save up for a car, but then that's when my MTR hit. So then came back to this.
All right, so you don't have family support system?
Well, I have my she's like my sister, but my family is in El Paso, so I don't have anybody really out here, just her.
Do you need your probation transferred to El Paso?
That was a plan, but I didn't get to that.
Well, we're getting to it now. Because let me just tell you, probation is difficult, and it should be difficult because it's designed for rehabilitation. But sometimes people cannot make it on their own. They need a support system. The fact that you've been to lifetime recovery, the fact that probation is saying that there needs to be mental health evaluation, maybe you need a support system. Now, if your family is not a good support system, then maybe that's not where you should be. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well, that's what I'm still trying to figure out as well. Love.
Well, so do you want it transferred to El Paso?
The only reason I'm staying out here was because of my kids. So, but I wasn't really, I was really like just passing around as a kid. So like, they're not really a good support system. So.
Okay,
On his behalf, Judge, his residence is going to be with his sister here in San Antonio. So he can keep the job that he has and stay close to his children.
all right. So are you going to be able to do this successfully?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're saying you're stable now?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you still have, since you've been arrested, do you still have a place to stay?
Yes, ma'am. And I still have my car.
All right. All right, anything else?
Nothing further, Judge.
And so probation, you're asking for what specifically?
To provide proof of employment and residence within 45 days of release, weekly reporting for 30 days, a mental health evaluation, following recommendations.
All right. Other than what they're suggesting, is there anything else you need from the court?
I don't have to wait in here for that, correct? For the mental health evaluation.
Probation, do you want mental health evaluation in custody or out of custody?
Yeah.
All right, so this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to follow their recommendation, but the range of punishment on these offenses, I've already told you what the range of punishment is. So if there's another violation, you're looking at potentially 20 years in prison, potentially life in prison. Do you understand? All right, the court will follow the recommendation. This is what the court is going to add, though. The court is going to add parenting classes and proof of employment within 45 days of release, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, weekly reporting for 30 days, and a mental health evaluation, and that can take place out of custody. Do not disappear. You must report. Do you understand? All right, and there's nothing else you need from the court? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Have a seat over here, probation.
Yes.
Hey, Judge, here's a gentleman on your docket named Hector Casanova.
All right, let me see where he is. Just a second. Okay, oh, yes.
I was just recently, I'd like to bring him back tomorrow for resolution. I have a sentencing that's gonna start in the 144th, and they're getting antsy.
All right, let me do
With your
this.
blessing, you know, I just got hired yesterday by his mom, so.
Okay,
The state needs to rescind.
I'm not sure about tomorrow, but Thursday.
Thursday's fine.
All
All
right,
right, thank you.
let Ms. Ferguson.
I will, thank you.
All right, where's John Glover? Hello.
Good morning.
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Good.
All right, where are we on discovery?
So Judge, this case, it's our first setting. There are 6 body cam videos that were too large for me to download, so I brought a USB to Ms. Espinoza. I've also asked for some of the photos that are alleged to have been taken from the incident and some text messages. So once I have those, we should be able to move forward.
All right, and state, were you able to tender an offer or no?
Not yet.
All right, Norma, recall this in 30 days for discovery and for state to tender an offer.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back on April 16th.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you. Judge.
Thank you.
Yes, I did. All right.
Who else?
Page 5, 2, and 3.
Hooch? Joseph Hooch?
Sorry, thank you, Judge.
That's okay, no problem. Good morning. All right, who did you confer with on this?
Well, I've been conferring with multiple TAs. My understanding is an unindicted case that they need to investigate.
All right, so where are we on this case?
They need to wait before they can. That's
All
what
right.
they told me.
So on this case, has all the discovery been submitted?
All discovery on the indicted case. There's one unindicted case that I believe we're trying to get in contact with the victim. But we would just not like to move forward until we've been able to basically get a better idea of that unindicted case, whether we're gonna be supported or not, Judge.
Okay. All right, and when will this be done? All right, Ms. Ferguson. Recall this in 45 days. You'll need to confer off docket on an offer, and that will be your plea deadline date. What date, Ms. Ferguson? May 4th. Right, thank you. Once he signs the reset form.
All right, just wait.
April Fields. Hello.
Hey, Judge,
Have you all conferred with the state?
I have conferred, they're reviewing to make an offer, but I also filed the blood discovery motion last night. And so I have a copy of it if you want a physical copy, and I've given one to the state.
Oh, I mean, I don't need a copy.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's what I thought. Well, just for signatures or whatever.
sure. Okay. Norm, I need a reset date for 60 days. And state at that time, you need to be prepared to tender an offer. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Jose Salazar,
Morning, Judge.
good morning.
I have the bond printed out if you don't have them in front of you. Oh, I'm sorry, the motions printed out if you need them.
Oh, they've given me the motion.
Okay, Judge.
So there's 2 motions.
There's a UUMV and an ag rob, Judge.
All right, I don't have the 2-6.
Okay, here's 2-6.
Thank you.
Do you have the attachments, Judge?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'll.
What's the cause number on this one?
It is 2026 CR 000424 and 426.
Okay.
And then here's my attachment. It's just a letter thing that they've secured of work for him in the month of March, and they can. Oh yeah, I response. Yeah, okay, no problem.
All right, so,
And then, did you get the attachments, or this is the?
thank you. So state, are you going to have any objection to that, to his working?
Sorry, Judge?
He's asking that the bond be, that the conditions of bond be amended to allow him to work.
And Judge, we're gonna object to any kind of amendment or changes to the bond conditions because of the nature of the charge.
All right, court is calling 2026 CR 0000424 and 2026 CR 0000426, State versus Jose Salazar. Can I have parties? Thank you. Announce for the record.
Brandon Brader for the state.
Robert Adiano for the defendants.
And are you Mr. Salazar?
Yes.
All right, defense has filed a motion to modify conditions of bond, and it's the court's understanding, State, you are in objection.
Yes, Judge, we're in objection.
All right, defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Just a little bit of background. I know you have the motion in front of you, but the defendant's charged with ag rob and UUMV. This offense occurred about 10/29/25. He was released on January 7th, 2026. His bond was modified from 45,000 modified to 45,000 and $5,000 on both cases, and with the conditions of full house arrest with GPS monitoring. The defendant, we are requesting that he be allowed to modify his full house arrest to tracking, I guess, no house arrest, and the GPS be tracking only, to allow him to go to jobs that have been set up with a group called Urban Apostles. I've attached a letterhead from this group, this organization. They have set up multiple jobs for Ismael with regard to catering services, all kinds of jobs, but they have a schedule set up for the month of March. I know we're almost done with the month of March, but this is an established organization that works with juveniles and young people. My client is 17 years old. He's living at home right now with his mother. The reason that we need him to work is just to get him back out, start working a job again, and help his mother with finances because of the situation she is about
My
to.
question.
Go ahead. Yes, Judge.
So you say they have a schedule, and this schedule that they make, it's a monthly schedule.
Yes, Judge, correct.
So he will have his schedule will be set for the month of March, the month of April. People will know where he is and the hours. Because what I can tell you,
Oh, go ahead.
I am only I'll allow him to work, but he will need to provide hours. I'm not going to do tracking. He'll be allowed to work, but he's going to have to provide his schedule to GPS.
Understood.
Pretrial. And again, he's not to have any contact with any of the complainants.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
Yes, Judge, we can provide those hours ahead of time to his pretrial services officer to let him or her know his hours ahead of time so that he can be allowed to work.
So when would he know his schedule?
So with regard to the opportunities provided, I don't think he'll know the schedule immediately, but he will know it as soon as they know that he can work. Then his liaison, the gentleman who did the letterhead, he can send me his hours, whatever job they set him up with. Because what they sent me was a list of jobs that are available for the month of March that Ismael could work at.
All right, so this is what the court is going to order. The court will order partial GPS, and you are to provide the work location and the hours within 48 hours.
48 hours before he goes to work, he needs to provide. So if he has a job on Monday of next week, he needs to provide that on Friday, like more or less. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
But if it is a case where you say they have a monthly schedule all worked out, then he'll provide his schedule for that full month and say, here's my schedule. But what I can tell you is if you're supposed to be at location A and it turns out you're not at A, you're at C or D, they're going to issue a warrant. Do you understand? All right, is there anything else?
So just.
I think on the defense, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. With regards to when you start, do I have to take it to the back or are y'all?
Oh, I'm signing it right now and then you can get a
Okay.
copy. All right.
And that's for
thank you.
2024 and 2026. For both? Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure, Judge.
All right, no
All right, thank
problem.
you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
All right, are the parties ready on Lania Ray? Hello.
Good morning,
Right,
Judge.
Good morning. All right, the court is calling 2022 CR 7879, State versus Lania Ray. Can I have parties announced?
Bud Rittenhour for the defendant.
And you're Miss Ray?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense has filed a motion to terminate her community supervision. State, I understand that you are objecting to the termination.
Yes, sure.
All right, so probation has informed the court. Oh, let me see. All right, probation has informed the court that she successfully completed everything. The probation has all right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to grant the early termination. However, the court is not setting aside.
All right.
All right.
I explained that that was an option that didn't have to be done.
Oh. All right, good luck to you, okay? And remember, if you need help, reach out before it gets to this point.
Yes, ma'am.
And I know you have all the tools
Yes, ma'am.
because you've completed everything successfully. Probation has informed me they wanted, they were in agreement with your early termination as well. So don't backslide.
I'm not.
Because a lot of people, I don't know why people, we can go off the record. I don't understand why people sometimes are against therapy. Because sometimes you need to talk to people because you can be in life and things are hitting you left and right, and you just need to come up for air.
Mhm.
And sometimes that's hard to do if you don't have a support system
Yes.
or if you don't have someone that you can talk to. People these days say, I'm just going to throw up my hands. And I'm like, please don't just throw up your hands. All right. Well, congratulations and good luck to you. Okay.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for figuring out. A lot of people don't realize how hard it is to do what's best for somebody else, even if it has a negative impact on you.
Yes.
So thank you for letting her be adopted
Yes.
by a great family.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
She's been to Hawaii, experiences that I probably would not be able to afford her.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that she's in a better situation.
Mhm.
The sky is limitless.
Yeah. And she's going to come to appreciate that,
Yeah.
and see that you did something that was best for her. Because it's easy to be selfish, right? And say, well, I want this for me.
Yeah.
But it's good when you can look for what's best for someone else.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe excuse.
Yes. Banks. All right. Are y'all ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 009618 State versus Brandon Banks. Can I have parties announced?
Matt Stolhansky for Mr. Banks.
And for the state? All right, it has listed on the docket sheet that he's represented by Kelly Green. Is that not the case?
No, ma'am. I represented him previously. His wife hired me today. We filed a notice. I hadn't processed through it.
Okay. All right, and are you Mr. Banks?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you review the motion to revoke community supervision with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Brandon Banks who was placed on community supervision in 2024 CR 009618 for the offense of evading arrest detention with a previous conviction on April 8, 2025 for a term of 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
So to be proceeding on violation of condition number 4, specifically that in Barry County, Texas, the defendant, Brandon Lynn Banks, the then and there failed to submit the report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of January 2026, violation of condition number 4.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
State.
Judge will further be proceeding on the last violation of condition number 4, in Barry County, Texas, the defendant, Brandon Lynn Banks, the then and there failed to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of December 2025 in violation of condition.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, ma'am.
Did you understand by pleading true to violations 4 and 4, the court could find it true, grant the motion, revoke and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 4 and 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violations 4 and 4 true. Is there proposed agreement?
Judge, the proposed agreement is to revoke the defendant and sentence to 2 years TDC.
We're asking for 1 year TDC, Your Honor, but we're agreeing to the revoke.
All right, do you want to raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Brandon Linbank.
All right, why have you not been successful?
This last time, man, my living situation kind of fell apart. I mean, when that fell apart, it was just bounce around, and I knew they went over there. She said I wasn't there, so I knew.
All right, so here's the thing. I remember you. I remember everybody that comes in front of me,
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
and you don't look well. So while you were not reporting, what had you been using? Here's the thing, tell the truth.
Little crystal meth, and it's mainly marijuana.
All right, so I'm going to give you a choice, because if I do not give you these choices, what's going to end up happening? It's not going to end well for you. Either you're going to end up in jail or prison or wherever it may be, or either someone's going to have to identify your body. And when I say that you're not looking the same, when you were before me, you were looking much healthier. And now, since you've been missing, you've been using. And how often have you been using?
Marijuana every day.
Okay, so here's the thing. Be honest with
I'm
me.
gonna be honest. The meth, I mean, I really don't. I don't have
No.
the money, but I mean, yeah, maybe not, but it really
Here's the
wasn't.
thing. You don't look like the only thing you've been using is marijuana every day from when I first had you in this court.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. I've used meth, but I mean,
Okay, here's the thing. You're in the throes of your addiction. I'm going to give you a choice. These are your only two choices. One, you're either going into inpatient treatment, and we'll see if felony drug court will accept you, or either I'm going to revoke you and sentence you to 2 years in the state jail facility. Those are your only two choices. And hopefully, if you choose the 2 years in the state jail facility, that will give you a chance to get your mind in order and at least be sober for 2 years. So, which do you prefer?
I'll take the 2 years.
All righty.
Well, yeah, I do, but I don't understand it. I mean, I don't understand
What
that.
she's saying is she sends you to inpatient, you do that, you get out and you finish your probation. Or
Well, I mean, I would prefer that. I mean, I just didn't understand. I mean,
Well, let me explain to you. You have two choices. One, I send you to state jail facility. That's for 2 years.
yes, ma'am.
Or I continue you on probation and you're going either to felony drug court or you're going to inpatient treatment. Those are your two choices.
Take the treatment. I mean, I really want to do the treatment. I mean, I don't want to be caught into the drug. I mean,
All right, court will deny. Alternate amend conditions. Probation, do we need an updated tab? I'm sorry? All right, so this is the following to take place in custody. There's going to be a TAP evaluation and a referral to felony drug court. If not accepted in felony drug court, then with the TAP evaluation, it's going to be inpatient treatment. Either it's going to be Safe P or SATA. Do you have a support system here in San Antonio?
my wife.
All right, there's going to be no residing in households with minors. And no unsupervised contact with minors. And there's going to be field visits 1 time per month until further notice upon release from custody. Probation, is there anything else?
No, Judge.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
Oh, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. You better make a decision because it is true. What's going to end up happening to you, either you're going to spend the rest of your life in prison or jail, or either somebody's going to have to identify your body because the last time you use may be the last time you use. And I'm telling you, since the last time I've seen you, you've lost a lot of weight. It looks as though you've been living on the street and you've been using constantly.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, been living on the street, yeah.
And using, so you need to stop, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge. Do I dismiss?
Yes. Dreamer.
That is my case, Judge. And the PIC prosecutor was here earlier.
Mhm.
And I think we've got the case worked out, including Rick's case. We just wanted to see if we could recall him for Friday so she can talk to the complainant about the specific terms of the offer.
I can recall him for Thursday.
Can I check something real quick?
Sure.
Hey, Trey, would you call and see if I'm in town on Thursday?
And could you give this to LaShawn, please? Thank you.
I might be able to send Trey to do it.
Okay.
Rick, whatever I work out with Sarah, you'll mirror the terms?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just a question of,
You can send Trey to maybe go with the paperwork, and if you want to zoom in, you can zoom in.
okay, well, I mean, he's okay with it. We're just trying to get specific terms as far as what the offer was.
Okay.
So Thursday works. We'll get it figured out.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, this is coming back on Thursday for disposition.
All right, we'll do that 19th, Judge.
All right. All right, thank you.
All right, I'll see you on Thursday. Okay?
All right, Keonis.
So Judge, I filed a motion for continuance on the case. This goes on specially set for a murder trial on the 2/27th. And I talked to the state about it. And then when I opened the files, I discovered a hard drive I dropped off. I guess the last time I was here, that nobody had told me about.
Mhm.
So all the rest of the discovery, yes, the rest of the discovery was downloaded. So I just need time to go over that with my client.
State.
State's ready.
I expect nothing else, Judge.
All right, so here's the court's question. I mean, I can't put him to trial when he hasn't gone over that with his client.
I understand, Judge.
So, Ms. Ferguson. Recall this for the week of the March 23rd.
That's the day I'm starting the trial, on the 23rd and the 2/27th. Can we do the following week?
Well, do you know if it's actually gonna go
Yeah, I'm
or
not gonna lie.
something?
Yeah, my client wants 10, the offer's 40.
Oh, okay.
Unless there's a sudden change in the offer, which I don't anticipate.
All right,
based
let's do
upon the
this.
debt
We'll
person.
put it for the 23rd, but if you're in trial, I'll notate that you're in trial.
Okay, perfect.
All right, Norma, recall this for the 23rd.
So Judge, that would be pick on 23rd, proceed the case in chief 24th.
You'll have to ask Judge Keesley. Okay. And Norma, if you'll be sure to let Judge Keesley know that defense is specially set. All right. Is there anything else?
Especially set in the 2/27. And I guess I can address my continuance with Keesler?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, but of course, if you're not in trial, then we'll be doing this.
Obviously, Judge, I guess my question is when I check the hard drive there, it looks like about 50 or 60 videos, so.
Okay.
I mean, I need to get prepared for my murder case while preparing for this, and I just got the discovery.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
No.
All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge.
And counsel, I only did that because this is the second continuance in this case.
Judge, I was so sad the state hadn't turned over that discovery.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going the other way. It was a case 3 cutter withdrawn after 2 years, but I got tagged with.
Okay.
Jail for 2 weeks.
All right. Just let me know. And if you could check in with them before, like on Friday, and let me know that.
Yeah, they're bringing the
Yes.
guy over Friday. If he decides to take the offer, if you want,
Yeah.
I'll let you know.
All right. Yeah. And then we can move it.
Okay, all right, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Mary Gonzalez. All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 0000382 and 2026 CR 00337 State versus Mary Ann Gonzalez. Could I have parties announced? All right, this hearing was scheduled at 9 a.m. It is now 11:14 a.m. The defendant did not answer docket. Deputy Laura, did you make it the announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. She is not out there.
Defense, have you had any contact with your client?
I'm not gonna.
State? All right, the court will issue a judge's warrant in both causes, and your client will be remanded without bond.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ray Kelly,
Ready, Judge?
are there any applications?
No, Your Honor, there's not.
All right, the court is calling 2026 CR 0000480 State versus Ray Kelly. Can I have parties announced?
Nick Aguilar on behalf of Ray Kelly,
And are you?
who also looks like Sam Elliott.
That is so true.
He's not impressed, I'm sorry.
Ah, but you know, the thicker mustache would be more Sam Elliott. All right, counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Kelly, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are, Judge.
Mr. Kelly, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
I believe so.
All right, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1 to 4 grams. That's a 3rd-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in the prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, been.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Very much so, yes.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Kelly, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am, not at all.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, I am.
If you're not a citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Reported?
Yes, if you're not a U.S. citizen.
Oh, okay.
Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Oh, yes, I did.
According to the plea, the state is requesting that your punishment be assessed at 2 years in the prison, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Judge, we have to say exhibit number 1, all attachments.
All right, state you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, we have no objection to the exhibits.
All right. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, I am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. The court has reviewed the same. The court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are we proceeding with sentencing?
If you would consider it, yes, Judge, we're not applying. Been incarcerated since the date of offense 4 months ago. He's accepting responsibility here on our first setting. He would like you to consider following the plea bargain.
All right, the court will follow your agreement. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. the court will request the therapeutic community. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. The therapeutic community does not increase the time that you're in custody. It's designed to help you with any issues you may have. And it's so that you can be rehabilitated. So if there is any type of drug issues, they'll be able to help you with that, okay? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
You're
Happy
welcome.
Birthday, I think.
Oh, no, not my birthday, but I'll celebrate all year. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. I'll be excused.
Yes, you may be excused. Philip Pettis. Counsel, is there an application?
No, Your Honor.
All right, the court is calling 2024 CR 012487 State versus Philip Pettis. Can I have parties announced?
State.
It's Fernando Cortez for Mr. Perez.
And are you Mr. Pettis?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. And counsel, in this case, was there ever a mental health evaluation?
Yes, we just came from that court, maybe a week ago, Judge, and we found competent, but with significant issues.
All right. All right, Mr. Pettis, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
I waived reading, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are proceeding solely on count one, waiving count two and payment.
Any objection?
No objections, Your Honor.
All right, did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? All right, you're charged with theft of property more than $300,000. That's a first-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case? Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
We have, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Pettis, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and reentry. Did you understand?
Yeah.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one. They're waiving count two. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 18 years in the prison. There's a $1,400 fine, no applications. This will run concurrently with the case out of Kendall County, case 9493. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Ma'am.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State? Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places? By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offense and count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence.
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, and state, was the vehicle returned? All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to cross-examine any witnesses? and the right to remain silent.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor, please.
Right. So, Mr. Pettis, why did you take an ambulance?
I was going crazy. I was like mad.
Okay,
And that's one of the issues with the competency judge. He's got serious prior diagnosis.
Mhm.
He was found competent, and I think he was homeless at the time that this occurred and was not taking his meds and stuff, so that's kind of what happened.
okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to the 18 years, give you credit for any time served. This will run concurrently with your cases in Kendall County. And that's case number 9493. I'm going to request the therapeutic community, and there's to be no residing in households with minors. Did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing.
May I
You,
mention one thing, Judge,
Yes.
please, on the record that,
okay, on the record?
yes, Your Honor, please. He was already at TDC, and we're simply asking for the court to indicate on the record that the time that he got here would run concurrent with any TDCJ obligations or time.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can do, because I don't know the time frame of that, the clerks will be able to look it up in the system. What I can tell you, while this case has been pending, right, you had a warrant for this case, you will receive credit from that day. Okay? All right. So here's the thing. The state waived the habitual enhancement. If they would not have waived that, your minimum would be 25 years. So when you're released from custody, the first thing you need to do is go to the Center for Healthcare Services, tell them you need a case manager, and let them know when you leave the prison, they will give you your diagnosis if you request it. So make sure you request that and make sure you have a plan. You understand? All right, good luck to you, okay?
Thank you,
You're
Your
welcome.
Honor.
Anyone else ready? All right, Arlene Gay. Hello.
Morning.
Good morning. All right, so we're scheduled for trial today. Everybody ready?
No, Your Honor, we're not ready. My client does not want me as his attorney anymore. And the feeling is mutual. And feel like our conversation, a breakdown in our conversation, that
Well, this case has been going on since October 2025. So if there was going to be a breakdown in communication, it should occur before then. So y'all
it did, Your Honor. We thought I could salvage it because I think the court would have maybe encouraged us to see if the relationship can go any further.
All right, so which case are y'all going to trial on first? 5412. All righty, Norma, have a jury come up here by 1:30.
My client also, you have something to say, right?
I wanted to thank the prosecutor. They had a reasonable offer.
No. Here's the thing. I'm not allowed to hear about your negotiations. What's going to end up happening is we're going to be back at 1:30 for a jury trial.
Well, I was asking for a bench.
That's another thing. My client did inform me yesterday that he liked a bench trial. And
Well, you can discuss it with your attorney and see what she thinks on that. If everybody agrees to the bench trial, then we can have a bench trial.
I've discussed it with him, and he has made that decision yesterday and today.
All right, then you all will need to fill out the request for the bench trial. State, do you have any objections to a bench trial? All right, so Norma, if you can get the paperwork for them for a bench trial.
Bench trial?
Yes. And State, do you have any witnesses for today? All right, then we'll start tomorrow. But sign, give him the information for the bench trial.
Your Honor, just so I'm assuming you're not going to let me off the case. And at 10:30, I do have a parole hearing that I'm scheduled to do. It should just be an hour.
Okay.
If the court could work with my schedule, I'd greatly appreciate it. It's just hard to reset
Oh,
parole
no, I used to do
cases.
parole hearings.
Yeah,
I
it's
understand.
like an act of God to do
Okay.
that.
All right, if you'll go over the bench trial information with him.
Okay.
There were just discrepancies.
Here's the thing, whatever discrepancies you're saying that are with the state's case, that's something that's handled on cross-examination of witnesses. Okay,
That's what my attorney's saying that it's okay.
no. Here's the thing.
I'm having a hard time
No,
understanding.
no.
And I'm.
So let me just explain this to you, and I want you to internalize what I'm saying.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been a defense attorney. I've been a prosecutor. And what I've learned is, have you ever heard of the saying where people say a little bit of knowledge is very dangerous? Have you ever heard that saying?
Yes, ma'am.
I've come to learn based upon my experience on the planet. I now know what they mean by that, right? And in your case, or maybe not, this is what it means. Have you ever read the Bible before?
I've been reading it every day.
All right, here's the perfect example. Someone will read the Bible and they'll read Genesis. Me, when I would read the Bible, and I still do, I would tend to get bogged down because I'm always looking for the quiz, because professors and teachers would always give you a quiz about the minute stuff. So in Genesis, when they're doing the begets, so-and-so beget this person, in my mind, I'm trying to memorize it, right? And so I've read through Genesis. And then when people read Genesis and they're like, I know Genesis, and they start quoting passages, but there are other books in the Bible that are connected to Genesis that people don't realize where this picks up. It's sort of like when people say revenge is mine and they put a period after that. And it's like, no, revenge is mine, saith the Lord. So it's the same thing with the law. This is our book that we have to know. And we have to know case law too. You will have some people, and I think your attorney will tell you this, they'll read something and it sounds great for their case. And they're like, here we go. This is great for my case. And then the attorney tries to explain to them, either that doesn't apply to you, or either there's another section that's attached to that section that is not good for you. So what I can tell you is, I believe your attorney has read this book, because we've all read this book. I believe your attorney has read case law. You know why? Because we've all had to read the case law. So your attorney is an expert for you about the law. And that is the person that you need to ask questions of. Now, during your trial, what would end up happening is the state, they're going to call their witnesses. They're going to question their witnesses. Your counsel will get a chance to cross-examine those witnesses. Since you're coming to me for a bench trial, I will make the determination of whether I think someone is credible or not, whether I think they're telling the truth or not. If you go to a jury trial, the jury will make the decision on whether they believe somebody's telling the truth or not. That's the way it works. So a bench trial before me, I'm considering all of these things. This is what I can tell you about a bench trial with me. If the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you guilty. If they don't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm going to find you not guilty. And with me, whether or not someone is found guilty or not guilty is based upon the evidence that's presented to me. It's not based upon the charge. Like some people will say, It's a bench trial. It's a murder. I know the state didn't prove their case, but I'm really afraid to do it not guilty. That's not me. I'm just going to listen to the evidence and I'm going to make a decision, guilty or not guilty, based upon what's presented to me. All right?
I'm scared right now. I believe God will make a way though. And I mean, like, I got a lot to lose. And
Okay,
they
let me
all-
just tell you something, what I've learned from my time going to church. Sometimes God's answer is yes. Sometimes God's answer is no. I was always taught whatever answer you receive from God is a good answer, and you need to thank him 1,000 times for that answer. So that's where you are. But I will tell you this, you need to look at your case objectively. I would always tell my clients, let's pretend this is not your case. And the reason why I would tell them that is so that they can look at it objectively. So you need to sit with your attorney and look at your case objectively. All right? All right, thank you. They'll get the paperwork for you for a bench trial.
It's just a matter of whether we do it today. He mentioned maybe tomorrow for a plea
Luis?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, my understanding that you all have reached an agreement.
Yes, there's been some movement in the offer. I think we're good.
All right, so then what we're going to do is it's going to be recalled for Thursday.
Okay.
Norm, if you can give Mr. Keonis a reset. And sir, you need to be here at 9 a.m. You understand? All right, thank you.
Maybe excuse Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Millie Reyes. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
All right, court is calling 2024 CR 012899 State versus Millie Reyes. Can I have parties announced?
I'm afraid we have Ms. Reyes to my right.
And are you Ms. Reyes?
Yes,
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
That's my knowledge, yes.
The court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Reyes, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
yes.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
Yes, please.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
We are.
I don't think so. Are you proceeding on both counts?
I'm sorry. We're waiving count one. Proceeding solely on counsel.
Any objection?
No.
Oh, no problem. Did you review the court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes,
All right. In count two, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 to 200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses. The state will call in the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes,
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes,
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
yes,
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
very much so.
Ms. Reyes, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you're not a U.S. citizen by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand?
Yes.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her rights to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, according to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years on count 2. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the plea?
Yeah, with all back time.
All right, state, is that the plea?
It is, yes.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, are there any such motions?
That's my knowledge.
Then to the offense of count 2, how do you plead? Guilty, not
Guilty.
guilty, or no contest?
No
Good.
contest.
No contest.
State, any evidence?
We are state to number 1, including all of them.
No objection.
State, you may be excused.
Thank
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in, the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, please.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Does the court accept the plea agreement?
All right. All right, the court will follow your agreement, sentence you to 2 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. These other charges, like the theft case the theft case, is that taken care of or is that no pending? Okay. All right. And the court will request the therapeutic community. The therapeutic community does not increase the time that you're in custody. It's to help you with any issues you may have. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, because this plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. What are your plans for the rest of your life?
My plan,
Yeah, because this has got to stop, because otherwise you're going to end up in prison.
I'm already too,
She's getting deported.
Oh, you are?
probably.
Oh, no, you are going to be deported, okay?
Yes.
All righty. People, previously people were like, oh, maybe not, maybe, but this is a deportable offense, so you will be deported.
Yes,
All right, where are you from?
Philippines.
Oh, okay.
I'm ready to have my set to better my life there.
All right, so you got to stop this. Wherever you may land, just try to do the best you can do, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, the court is calling 2025 CR 013014 and 2025 CR 015412, State versus Christopher Michael Sanchez. Can I have parties announced?
Arlene Gay for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Sanchez?
Yes, correct.
Counsel, in each cause number, have you received all discovery and reviewed it with your client?
Yes, we have,
In each cause number, the court will find that
Your Honor.
in each cause number, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
State and cause number 2025 CR 013014, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, notice of 2 prior instances attached.
And then in cause number 2025 CR 015412, are you proceeding on that indictment as presented?
No, Your Honor, proceeding solely.
Any objection?
No objection.
Mr. Sanchez, in each cause number, did you review the waivers and admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
In cause number 14, you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle. If the state is able to prove up the enhancements, your range of punishment will be anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. In the cause number ending in 12, you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4,200 grams. That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Do you understand? In each cause number, you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering into these pleas, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in each of these cause numbers? Counsel, in each of the cause numbers, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Sanchez, in each of the cause numbers, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea? Okay. Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? All right, if you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering into these pleas, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and reentry. Did you understand? In each cause number, the court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. In each cause number, did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? And the cause number ending in 1-2, the state is proceeding on count 2 only. In both cases, they're asking that your punishment be assessed at 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,400 fine, time and money to run concurrent. The cases were run concurrently. Did you understand that to be your plea?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Defense? State?
Yes, sir.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, sir.
By signing that you're waiving your right to appeal, the only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Sure.
Counsel, there be any such motions?
No, Your Honor, not, we filed, but it was not heard by the court.
And the cause number ending in 1-4, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Okay.
And count 2 and cause number ending in 1-2, how do you plead?
Okay.
State any evidence.
No objection, both.
All right. Did you review the, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes.
In each cause number, the court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. And in cause number 2025 CR 013014, how do you plead to the enhancements? True or not true?
Your Honor, as when you get to the case 1-2 at the end,
Mhm.
I'd like to address something in the packet.
Okay. All right. You wanted to say
Just
something?
briefly, there was an error in the report where it says that S1 said that there was drugs in the car, along with O1 saying that she granted consent to search. S1 should be O1 there. My client never admitted to anything. And I discussed this with the state. No. I had discussed it with the state. My client wanted just to bring that to your attention, that he never made an admission, and that's just an error in the report.
Okay. And what I can tell you, even without the admission in that cause number, the evidence is sufficient to find you guilty. Okay. So in each cause number, the court will find the evidence is sufficient to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. In the cause number ending in 1-4, the court will find the enhancement true based upon your plea of true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
But we're just asked that the court follow the plea bargain, and we'd also like to address some out-of-county time.
Okay, just give me a moment. All right, in cause number 2025 CR 013014, as previously stated, the court is finding you guilty. The court is finding the enhancements true. Court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,400 fine, time and money will run concurrently. Is there a motion to revoke or something involved in this, or no?
No, Your Honor.
All right, this will run concurrent with 2025 CR 015412 and 2025 CC 015177. And you said you wanted to address some.
Yes,
Sorry.
Your Honor. While my client was incarcerated, he was removed from the Bexar County Jail on 4/2/2025. And was returned from Atascosa County Jail back to Bear County Jail on 6/4/2025. And we had looked it up on the Odyssey system, the state, and I did, actually Mr. Prater did for me. And it was, that is when he left, physically left, while my client was incarcerated here in Bear County and came back. I don't know if they, that would be reflected since he left and came back. But we're asking for that time. Your Honor, I confirmed it with the Atascosa County Jail, Ms. Mendoza, that works in Records Department. And, but it's clear from the system that he left and came back, and that's where he was.
So how much time are you saying?
It's from 4/2/2025 to 6/4/2025.
Wait, 4/2?
2025 to 6/4/2025.
And that's Atascosa County.
Atascosa County.
All right. The court will give you credit for any time served, and the court will give you credit from April 2nd, 2025 to June 4th, 2025 in Atascosa County. And that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, we're going to move on to 2025 CR 014. Sorry. 015412. Court is going to find you guilty of count 2 as previously stated. Court will sentence you to 6 years in the prison. There's a $1,400 fine, time and money to run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2025 CR 013014 and 2025 CC 015177. Give you credit for any time served and credit for any time served in Atascosa County from April 2nd, 2025 to June 4th, 2025. And that cause number, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. You understand? All right, we can go off the record. Why do you keep doing this?
I made a mess of my life. I gotta find myself.
I mean, when are you going, how old are you?
43-year-old.
All right, at some point, you're just gonna have to either make a decision. Are you gonna get your life together and find yourself? Or are you gonna have to keep having your mom come down to try to pull you out of messes that you're in? Because do you care about your mom? You love her? So this is what you need to start doing. You need to start making the right choices, because otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? She's just going to have to keep visiting you at the prison or visiting you at the jail. Or maybe, because you say you're in your 40s, how old is your mom?
He's 62.
All right. So at some point in her life, I know she wants to know that her child is okay and has gotten their life together and not worried about what's happening to him at the prison or if he's going to get into some nonsense.
Yeah, I was in prison real young. I didn't get out until I was older.
Mm-hmm.
I was out for a few months. They sent me right back for big numbers. I'm 20 something years behind in life. All my friends got mortgages, careers. I couldn't even get my ID.
Yeah.
I don't have a bank account, credit score.
All right. Let me just tell you, you know what I tell people? I have done like a lot of child protective services cases. I've represented it before. I've represented people who've had zero chance in life. And I always tell them at some point in time, you cannot let what happened in the past continue to impact you in such a way where you make bad decisions. And life is going to hit you and life is going to knock you down. Trust me, life hit me before. people always think that attorneys are wealthy. And let me just tell you, now mind you, some attorneys, if they were super wealthy, they wouldn't be doing this. But then some, it's like their passion. But I always tell people, when I first got out of law school, I took the bus. Here I am. I got 3 degrees and I'm taking the bus. Here I am. I have 3 degrees and I'm in an apartment with no furniture. You know why? Because you have to start somewhere.
I know when I was real young, I had 3 of my uncles were murdered.
Mm-hmm.
These departments, they didn't even try.
Yeah.
Took it hard and it tore my family apart. My grandmother had a stroke. My parents ended up divorcing. It was something that was hard for me to struggle. I'm gonna be honest, I do drugs because I can't deal with my pain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I lost my faith a long time ago, Your Honor. Just here recently, I found it.
Let me just tell you, when you're released from custody, you need to go to the Center for Healthcare Services and open up to them, because sometimes it's easier to speak to a stranger than your parents. But you've got to start addressing those issues. Otherwise, you're going to keep on doing this, and that's not good for you.
Recently, I said I lost my faith and I opened up the Bible. I read in this book, it's easy to praise God when you hit the lottery, you get a promotion.
Yeah.
The ultimate form of worship is when you praise God, even in struggle.
Mm-hmm.
So I praise God today, and maybe it'll be later.
Yeah.
Maybe who knows what the future will happen.
You know, my mom always tells me, she said, no matter what happens in life, you need to thank God 1,000 times. Because she tells me, God, she said, I don't even know how it's possible, but God loves you more than I do. And so she says, whatever happens in your life, whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, because sometimes God tells you no, and really that no is for your best. You may not be able to see it now.
I'll make a way.
Yes.
Thank you.
So
John.
you're
I
welcome.
wanted to tell the prosecutor and them, I used to think that jail is the worst place. I would not wish this upon my worst enemy. Then I've gone over there and I've seen the guys in there. Thank you for protecting my mom, the community, man. Because some of them people I do not want living next door to my family. So I understand. I just don't want to be labeled as a liability to the community.
All right. Do better, okay? Next time I see you, you should be doing great.
Judge, somebody dismissal with the wrong case number, so I
Okay.
fixed it.
Oh, just 1 second.
Just one sec.
I need to
have
give you the correct
correction.
case number.
Thank you. I noticed. I put the wrong case number with it, so I.
Oh, okay.
Here you go.
I just want him to have this.
Oh, okay, great. Let me get that to him. Okay, thank you.
Amen.
Well, Mom, when he's released, make sure that he gets into therapy.
And then this is the proper one.
And don't
Oh,
let
that's
him,
my
tell him,
Yeah, not
tell
the
him
one.
Judge Boyd said, don't hang out with friends.
Okay, that one can.
Thank you. Sorry. Number on this one, then do
Sure.
another one.
Sure.
Yeah.
However y'all want to do it. I just want to make sure that they're all in the system. All right, who's here on Mark Ibarra?
So
So now we're good. Cause they have 4. This
This
is
one?
duplicate.
this is the
This is
duplicate.
this needs to be withdrawn and I did. Cause I.
Okay, so this one needs to be withdrawn. This
So now
one,
she has 4 correct.
okay. So are you putting on a record of that dismissal, or do we just agree to throw it away, or what do we agree?
All right, court is calling 2026 CR 001-552. State versus Mark Ibarra. Can I have parties announced?
Ready for the state?
Robert Ramirez from Ibarra.
And are you Mr. Ibarra? Oh, you're gonna have to speak up so she, okay. Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery.
Only she can.
Mr. Ibarra, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge, we are.
All right. Mr. Ibarra? Oh, thank you. Did you review the court's admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. It's a state jail felony. If the state is able to prove up the enhancements, the range of punishment will be from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you're giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Ibarra, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you into the plea? Anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented? If you're not a U.S. citizen, by entering this plea, you will be deported, denied naturalization, and re-entry. Did you understand? Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 2 years in the prison. You're to agree that you've been previously convicted of 2 or more felonies for purposes of enhancement, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be your plea? Defense, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
It is the plea.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes,
By signing that, you're waiving your right to appeal. The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No.
Then to the offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? To the enhancements, how do you plead? True or not true?
true.
State any evidence.
Judge, you have to say exhibit number 1 and all of that.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that today the state would be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes,
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find the enhancements true based upon your plea, or true and based upon states exhibits 1 and attachments. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor. We ask that you follow the plea agreement.
All right, the court is going to, as previously stated, find you guilty, find the enhancements true. The court will sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. And I'll recommend the therapeutic community. It doesn't increase the time that you're in custody. It's to help you with any issues you may have. But you'll have to ask for it, okay?
it's called therapeutic community.
Yes. And just make sure you ask for it. They're going to see it in the judgment, but I don't have the jurisdiction to force them to place you in the program. All right, did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes,
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what that is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. When you're released from custody, you need to go into inpatient treatment.
what I wanted to do, but they said time. I can do that.
So, well, here's the thing. When you get out, you can go to lifetime recovery. They will accept you. If you can't find a place to go, if you go to felony drug court, because I'm not going to be here. If you go to felony drug court is located right near the jail. If you go there and tell them you need help, they'll be able to tell you a location for you to go. Okay? All right, good luck to you, okay? Thank you. And how long do you think before you get information?
So email, whatever the court wants to give, because if she replies of, no, I don't see something, but I'll investigate it, I don't know how long that'll take her, probably a few weeks.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and get as much info to narrow down what time period to look and see if there's additional material regarding.
Okay. All right, Norma. All right, this is gonna come back for trial the week of March 30th. It's either trial or plea dead, or either it's gonna be an agreement reached.
Okay.
So, we're gonna put it on, just one second. Put it for March 30th. And then we'll see, if the state has that disclosure notice. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you.